Okay, welcome students. In this lecture, we will discuss some problems related to the greatest integer function. So let us take some problems and we should solve the problem using the property of greatest integer function. So first problem is question number 1 is find domain for fx equal to cos inverse greatest integer x. Okay, students, here we have to find out domain of the function cos inverse greatest integer x. This sign is indication for greatest integer. So as we know that students, for solution we should know the property of inverse cos function. So we know that for cos inverse x is exists only for x greater or equal to -1 and less or equal to 1. Means if cos inverse x exists, then x belongs to its principal values between from -1 to +1. So for existence of cos inverse greatest integer x, here greatest integer x should belong, greatest integer x should belong from -1 to +1. Okay, now we have to remove the greatest integer sign and to convert this part into the x. Okay, here greatest integer value is at, if we show this value on the number line, that here will be -1 and here will be +1, and greatest integers x should belongs between these value including end points. So what should be value of x? Greatest integer 1, value of greatest integer x is 1 and value of x is before 2 and value of greatest integer x is -1 and value of x is started from -1 and is before 0. Okay, it means our x will go before +2 and up to -1. So x should be greater or equal to -1 and less than 2, because for all value of x from -1 to open interval +2, greatest integer will be from -1 to +1. Okay students, so here we have obtained value of x belonging from closed interval -1 to open interval 2. This is the domain of the given function cos inverse greatest integer x. So our final answer is that domain of this function is this. Okay, this is our final answer. Here simply we have applied two properties. First one is existence of cos inverse x. What is the condition? That x should belong from -1 to +1, and another property is that greatest integer x is belonging from -1 to +1. Then what should be x? Then x should be from -1 to open interval +2. Okay students, if you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. Your doubt will be clear. Now we should go towards next question. What's the next question we should select a question from our exercise book. So our next question is given y equal to 2 greatest integer x plus 3 and also y is equal to 3 greatest integer x minus 2 plus 5, then find the value of greatest integer x plus y. Okay students, we have given two equations that are y equal to 2 greatest integer x plus 3 and y equal to 3 greatest integer x minus 2, and we have to find out the value of greatest integer x plus y. Okay, so let us start the solution. We have given two conditions that are y equal to 2 greatest integer x plus 3 and next one is y is equal to 3 greatest integer x minus 2 plus 5. So this can be simplified. It is minus 2 that is integer. We know that any integer part can be taken out from the sign of greatest integer. So here we should take the minus 2 in outside of the greatest integer. So it will be 3 into 2 plus 5. So after simplification we get that y is equal to 3 greatest integer x minus 6 plus 5, that will be minus 1. Okay. Now our equation number 1 is this and second equation is this. So left sides are equal, so we can equate the right sides. So after equating the right side are, so this will be also equal. So 3 from equation 1 and 2. What happens that their RHS are equal. So 3 greatest integer x minus 1 is equal to 2 greatest integer x plus 3. What's going on in the next step? This 3 greatest integer and x and this 2 greatest integer x, 1 greatest integer, 2 greatest integer will be cancelled out and 1 greatest integer will be remaining. So 3 greatest integer x minus 2 greatest integer x, remaining is only greatest integer x. Okay, minus 1 is here is plus 3. It will take minus 1 on the right side, then it will be plus 1 plus 3. Okay, that is greatest integer x is equal to 4. Okay students, here value of greatest integer x is 4. So we can find the value of y. Put greatest integer x in equation 1. We get that y is equal to 2 at the place of greatest integer x. We should 4 plus 3, that is 8 plus 3, and after simplification it is 8 plus 3, that is 11. Okay students, so y is 11 and greatest integer x is 4. Okay, now but we have to find out the value of greatest integer x plus y. So if we find the value of x, then we can conclude the greatest integer x plus y easily. So we should convert the greatest integer x in the form of x. Here we have greatest integer x is equal to 4. What are possible values of x when greatest integer will be 4? Either x should exactly 4, either x should be 4 point something fraction. So here are two possibilities, that x is 4 or x is 4 plus some fraction. Okay, we have two possibilities that either x is 4 or x is 4 plus some fraction. It will be some decimal values f maybe, or we can write here in single form, that is x should be 4 plus f, where f belongs from 0 to open interval 1. Okay, this is the solution of x. Now we should put the value of, we have to calculate the value of greatest integer x plus y. Now put the value of x and y, that is put here x, that is 4 plus f, and y, that is 11, because we have calculated x as 4 plus f and y 11. Students, here we have taken 4 plus f. No, it is not more topic of thinking, because we know that if we put f0, then it will be exactly 4, and their greatest integer will be 4. And if we put any value, it is open interval, and we put any value between 0 and 1, their greatest integer will be also 4. So in general form, we have written this in the form of 4 plus f. So now after the simplification, that is our 15 plus f. Since f is any value starting from 0 to open interval 1, so its greatest integer will be 15. Okay students, so our final result is obtained, that is greatest integer x plus y is 15. Okay, that's result is solved. It was a good problem. Okay students, if you have any doubts in the solution part, then you can comment in the comment section. Your doubt will be clear in the next session or in the comment section. Okay, that's result is 15. It's our final answer. Now we should take another problem. It is simply the solution of two linear equations, and after that we have to use concept of greatest integer x and their property. So it is not a tough problem. If you have your concept is clear, then you can solve it easily. Now we should take another problem, that is find the domain for, our next question is find the domain for fx is equal to greatest integer sin x and cos pi upon greatest integer x minus 1. Okay, students, we have to find out domain for this function. What is meaning of domain? Domain means that values of x for which fx is defined, for which function have a finite values. So we have to find out here values of x for which our function fx should have a finite value. Okay, so let us start. Now, as this function is multiplication of two separate functions, so if we should find domain of this and after that domain of this, and finally we will take intersection of both functions domain, then our result of combined function will be obtained. So first of all we should take greatest integer sin x. So greatest integer sin x, as we know that domain of greatest integer sin x is entire real numbers. So for greatest integer sin x, domain is what? Domain is entire real numbers, because sin x is defined for entire real number, and also the greatest integer sin x is also defined for entire real number. So domain d1 is equal to real number. Here domain of greatest integer sin x is real number, that we have denoted d1. Now we should take cos of pi greatest integer x minus 1. What's going on? We have here cos. We know that domain of cos x is real number, but this is function in which x is going on in denominator, so denominator cannot be what? Denominator cannot be 0. So first of all we should apply restriction that greatest integer x minus 1 should not 0. So if this function is defined, then greatest integer x minus 1 should not equal to 0. So greatest integer x minus 1 should not equal to 0 for finite value of cos. Okay, we know that we can take integer value outside of greatest integer. So after that it will be greatest integer x minus 1 not is equal to 0. What's going on here? Greatest integer x is not equal to 1. So now we should observe that what are the possible values for which greatest integer is 1. If we take any value starting from 1 and before 2, then their greatest integer will be always 1. As we have told in our discussion of greatest integer session, that any greatest integer value gives their left side value of number line. So if here is 2, then starting from 1 and before 2, all values will give greatest integer 1. Any value equal to left side integer value will be 1, and at 1 their greatest integer will be also 1. So any value between the interval will give greatest integer 1, and exactly at 1 also greatest integer will be 1. So we can say that if x does not equal to greatest integer 1 to open interval 2, then greatest integer will not be 1, because for this interval greatest integer x is 1. If we not include this interval, then their greatest integer will be not 1. So our function will be defined for real numbers excluding this value. So domain D2 of this function will be dt is equal to r minus greatest integer close interval 1 to open interval 2. Now we have to find out the domain of this combined function, that is domain domain of fx. What's going on? Domain of fx will be domain of fx is equal to d1 intersection d2. We know that domain of two multiplied function is always their intersection. So d1 is r. So it is r intersection, that is r minus close interval 1 to open interval 2. What will be result? Its result is r minus 1 to 2. Okay students, this is our domain of given function. If you have any confusion, you can ask again in comment section. This is our final result. Okay students. So if we have given function in multiplied form, then we should obtain the domain of separate function. After that, you should take intersection of individual functions. Then overall result will be the domain of our given function. Okay, we should take another problem. Our another problem is first. Okay, so we should select another question, that is we have another question, that is fx is equal to log at base 4 and this is 5 minus greatest integer x minus 1 and minus greatest integer x square, okay, divided by x square plus x minus 2. We have to find out the domain of the function where this side represents the greatest integer. Okay. Now find domain. That's good question. Domain means value of x for which fx is defined. So let us start from where? We have to start from 2 point. First one, when log is defined, when logarithmic function is defined, and second thing, that denominator of this function should not equal to 0. So we should start from numerator and after that we should check denominator. So at fx is this. We know that logarithmic function is defined when this value log x is defined when x is greater than 0. So we should note down here that log 4 5 minus greatest integer x minus 1 minus greatest integer x square is defined for 5 minus greatest integer x minus 1 minus greatest integer x square greater than 0. Okay. Now we should arrange the terms which are denoting this term before. So it is minus x square greatest integer minus x minus 1 and plus 4 is greater than 0. Okay students, we should alter the sign of each term. So after altering the sign, we have found out that x minus 1 minus 5 is less than 0. Okay students. this is less than 0. Now we should use the property of greatest integer. After that it will be here 1 will be outside of greatest integer, so result is -1 -5 less than 0. What's going on? This will be greatest integer x square plus greatest integer x minus 6 is less than 0. Now, can we factorize this? Yes, it can be factorized. So, what will be it? It will be, here we can write greatest integer x, 3 greatest integer x minus 2 greatest integer x minus 6 less than 0. Okay, now we should pair, one pair is this and another pair is this. So after pairing we get here that factorization is x plus 3 greatest integer. Okay, and another factor will be what? X minus 2, greatest integer x minus 2, it is less than 0. Now we should draw this on number line. From here, critical point is greatest integer x equal to 3. This factor gives the critical point greatest integer x equal to -3, and this factor gives critical value x equal to 3. Greatest integer x equal to 2. Okay, now we should draw these points on the number line. After that, we get -3 is somewhere here and 2 is here. Okay, in the rightmost side it will be plus, it will be minus, and it will be plus. It is simply using the number line representation rule. That now for negative values we should be between -3 to 2. So here as we have sign less than 0, so greatest integer x should belong from open interval -3 to, or we can write it as greater than -3 and less than 2. Now what's going on? If greatest integer is from between -3 to 2, what values of greatest integer x are possible? Here possible values of number line are what? कौन सी ऐसी वैल्यूज हैं जिसके लिए हमारा ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर -3 और 2 के बीच में बिलोंग करेगा? मतलब -3 और 2 के बीच में ग्रेटेस्ट इंटीजर की कौन सी पॉसिबल वैल्यूज हैं? चलिए ओके, इरेज करते हैं इसको. It is -3 and 2. What are possible values of that greatest integer x? Here -3 and here is 2. Okay. Then what are the integers between this? One integer is -2, another is -1, another is 0, another is 1. These are possible values of greatest integer x. If greatest integer x is this, then what should be x? What should be x? X should be greater or equal to -2 and less than or equal to, if we take this point to, we can take 2 because all values before 2 will give 1. Okay, and all values from starting from -2 and -1 will satisfy the condition. So x is this. Okay, so from numerator part, we have calculated that x should belong from closed interval -2 to open interval 2. This is our relation number 1. Now we should take the condition for denominator. After that, it is what? In denominator we have taken denominator, that is x square plus x minus 2. For a finite function, the denominator should never zero. So after factorization we get that 3x minus 2x minus 2, that is not equal to 0. What happens in next step, that is x square, factorize this, so that will be x plus 3. Here take minus, no. What is x square plus 2x minus x minus 2 not equal to 0. First pair will be x plus 2, and here minus 1, so x plus 2 not is equal to 0. First factor is x plus 2, and second factor is x minus 1, that is not equal to 0. Okay students, so for when this value is not 0, for this value not equal to 0, x should not equal to either -2 or 1. Okay, at these points this multiplication goes towards 0, so x cannot be -2 and 1. So denominator gives the condition this is our relation to. So our domain will be, so domain equal to, what is domain? Domain will be all values of numerator minus values of denominator. What's going on? This is what is the numerator values, that is from closed interval -2 to open interval 2, minus what's going on, that is here we have subtract the value -2 to 1. Then what will be? We should remove the values -2 and 1 from this interval, or we can write exactly this as an answer, or after solving we get that if you remove -2 from here, so you can write -2 in open interval form, because now -2 is not included and 1 should be not in answer, so break the from -1 and union 1 to close interval 2. This is our final result. 2 is included or not? This 2 is not included, so here is open interval, and now here will be also open interval. -2 to 1 union 1 to 2. So it is our final result of domain for this function. I think that you have your all points of calculation are clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me again and again. Okay? Thank you. So students, it was a very good problem. Here many concepts are applied, that are logarithmic function concept, greatest integer concept, and other concepts are applied for solving this. Okay students, thank you very much.